Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into two pretty unsettling true stories that really get into the darker side of things, human nature, tragic events. We've looked through articles, police reports, personal accounts, trying to piece together these narratives. They're about lives cut short, tragically leaving behind just grief, questions, and the sort of lingering unease. First up, we'll get into a really modern tragedy, the murder of a rising cycling star caught up in, a love triangle. Digital clues ended up pointing towards a vengeful killer. And then we shift gears completely. A baffling assassination still unsolved of a young father just starting out. It's shrouded in mystery, really perplexing circumstances. These aren't just facts and dates, they're human stories. And I think they'll stay with you. They really highlight how fragile life can be, how darkness can just show up unexpectedly. Story 1, Austin's fatal love triangle, the case of Anna Maria Wilson. Okay, so our first story takes us to Austin, Texas. Anna Maria Wilson, or Maris, as everyone knew her, just 25. And really vibrant.
Dartmouth grad, former skier. Then, boom, a world-class pro gravel racer. She'd only turned pro in 2019, but by 2021, she was winning almost everything. And despite all that success, people said she was incredibly humble, loved cooking, writing, travel. Especially Italy, apparently. So, October 2021, Mo wins this huge race, the Big Sugar Race in Arkansas. And while celebrating, she meets Caitlin Cash, another rider. They hit it off instantly, became fast friends. Pretty soon, Mo's often staying at Cash's place on Maple Avenue in Austin. Common for athletes traveling. Around the same time, different race, out in the Rockies, Mo meets Colin Strickland, another pro cyclist. It's a small world, gravel racing. He was seen as, charming, kind, helped Mo with sponsorships. He apparently called her the best female cyclist in the country and possibly the world. High praise. So Mo and Colin, they had a brief romantic thing lasting until the end of that season. Text messages later showed they decided on a break around January. But they stayed friends, still met up to ride.
Yeah, that part sounds pretty standard, right? Relationships start, fizzle out, people try to stay friends. But it's rare for it to escalate like this. Makes you wonder about the tipping point, how quickly jealousy can turn into something deadly.
Exactly. And it did escalate. Fast forward to May 2022, Mo's back in Austin, staying at Cash's place again, getting ready for another race, Gravel Locos. On May 11th, evening time, she goes for a swim with Colin. Deep eddy pool. Then they grab dinner. Colin drops Mo back at Caitlin Cash's house. It's 8:24 p.m. Later that night, 10 p.m., Caitlin Cash gets home. She finds the front door unlocked, which is strange. Her phone app had actually pinged her door unlocked around 8:30 p.m. Not long after Colin left Mo, she pushes open the bathroom door and just a horrific scene. Mo Wilson on the floor, covered in blood, unresponsive. The autopsy is brutal. Shot twice in the head, once more in the chest after she'd already fallen. 9mm rounds. Jacks, they're called. Designed a fragment caused maximum damage. The only thing missing from the house was Mo's bike. And they found it tossed in some bamboo about 68 feet away, no forced entry. So police go talk to Colin Strickland, last person known to see her alive. He denies going inside Cash's house after dropping Mo off. But then comes the key evidence. Caitlin Cash's Ring doorbell camera. It confirms Colin dropping Mo off, confirms him leaving. But just 2 minutes after he drives away, the camera catches a black Jeep Grand Cherokee. Bike rack on top, driving past the house.
And that's the power of modern tech, isn't it? A doorbell camera, suddenly you have a vehicle, a timestamp. It turns an unseen moment into solid evidence.
Absolutely. It makes hiding, much harder.
This kind of digital trail, it changes everything for investigators.
And they quickly ID'd the Jeep. Registered to a 34-year-old Caitlin Armstrong, also a cyclist, a yoga teacher, realtor, and Colin Strickland's longtime live-in girlfriend since 2019. So let's back up a bit. Colin and Caitlin's relationship timeline. Late October 2021, right around when he met Mo, Colin actually ended things with Caitlin, told her she deserved someone better. But a few days later, he starts dating Mo. When Caitlin found out about them, she apparently contacted Mo a lot, so much that Mo ended up blocking her number. But by January 2022, Colin and Caitlin were back together, rekindled things. Except Colin kept seeing Mo. Behind Caitlin's back, saved her number under a fake name, deleted text, trying to hide it. But Caitlin found out anyway. Investigators think she saw Colin's laptop left open, a message from Mo. Mo wanted to talk, said her mind was going in circles about the relationship. So that day, May 11th, the theory is Caitlin followed Mo and Colin after the swim, the dinner, watched them go back to Cash's place, waited for Colin to leave, and then didn't waste any time.
It raises that really disturbing question, though. Why focus all that rage, that fatal rage, on Mo? The other woman. Why not Colin?
Yeah.
It happens so often in these situations. It's like the rival becomes the sole focus, the embodiment of the betrayal, almost letting the partner off the hook in a twisted way. It points to something deeper than just jealousy, maybe control, possession.
Yeah, a terrifying mindset. And we still don't know exactly how she got in. Did Mo leave the door unlocked for Colin? Did she maybe let Caitlin in, thinking they could talk, or was she just ambushed? We don't know those specifics, but we do have testimony from a friend of Caitlin's. Apparently, days before the murder, Caitlin told this friend she was furious about Colin swimming with Mo. The friend told her, just break up with him. But Caitlin, even while saying things were better with Colin, apparently said if Mo ever got between them again, she would kill her. She even mentioned getting a gun, a Sig Sauer P365, and practicing shooting. The friend didn't think she was serious until Mo was killed. So the day after the murder, police picked Caitlin up. It was actually on an old, unrelated warrant, skipping out on a Botox payment, believe it or not. During questioning, detectives said she was very still. Didn't say anything when they showed her the doorbell footage. Refused to talk about the shell casings matching a gun she owned. Rolled her eyes when they asked about Colin and Mo's secret relationship. Called Mo that girl. The evidence was piling up. But then, a huge issue. The warrant they picked her up on. Invalid. Wrong date of birth. They had to let her go. The very next day, Caitlin sells her Jeep. And before police could get a valid warrant and rearrest her, she vanished. Went on the run. For 43 days. Fled the country. Surveillance video from Newark Airport, May 18th, shows her boarding a flight to San Jose, Costa Rica. They think she used her sister's ID and passport.
43 days. That's a long time to evade authorities internationally.
It took a joint effort with Costa Rican police. They finally caught her on June 29th, 2022. Found her in Santa Teresa Beach, apparently a known spot for fugitives. And she drastically changed her appearance. Dyed her hair, bandage on her nose from plastic surgery. Looked like her eye cutter was different too. Tried to deny who she was at first.
Desperate measure.
She was extradited back to Texas. Right now, Caitlin Armstrong has pleaded not guilty. She's being held on a $3.5 million bond. Her defense: she claims she ran and changed how she looked because she was afraid of Colin Strickland. Calls him a murderous ex. Blames him for Mo's death.
Is there any evidence to support that claim against Strickland?
None whatsoever, according to authorities. Her trial is set for October 30th this year. Colin Strickland, mostly silent. But he's faced a lot of online backlash. People blaming his actions for fueling Caitlin's rage. Others defend him, saying, cheating isn't a crime. It's a tragic end for Anna Maria Wilson. A short life, but definitely lived fully. Her legacy in cycling is strong. Story 2. The unsolved murder of Matt Flores. Okay, now we shift to something completely different. A case that's just cold, full of questions, very few answers. This is the story of Matt Flores, 26 years old back in 1994. Military officer. People describe him as an all-around nice guy. Ambitious, bright future. He'd done well in the Army, served in Operation Desert Storm, but 1994 was a turning point. His wife, Denise, had just had their daughter, Danielle. Matt wanted a safer job, more time with family. So he got an honorable discharge after 4 years. Just a month later, he lands what he thought was his dream job. Applied Materials Incorporated, big computer company in Silicon Valley. This was it. The chance for a normal 9 to 5. He moved the family out to California. So morning of March 24th, 1994. Matt's on his 9th day of training. Building 12, Applied Materials, Santa Clara. He's driving a rental car, a white Chevy Corsica, pulls into the parking lot at 8:02 a.m. sharp, parks in an unassigned spot. 2 minutes later, 8:24 a.m., a loud pop. A coworker sitting in her car nearby looks over, sees a smartly dressed man slumped to the ground, kneeling against his car. She described a fountain of red liquid pouring from the back of his skull. Her screen brought about 20 people running.
Wow, the speed of that and the coldness. Broad daylight, moments after parking.
A senior employee, Gary Robertson, recognized him. It was Matt Flores, shot point blank in the back of the head. Died instantly.
That kind of execution, immediate, precise. What does that usually suggest to investigators?
Often, it points towards something highly planned, maybe even a professional hit. The lack of struggle, the efficiency. It's not typical of random violence. It makes finding clues incredibly difficult. And here's a really strange detail. It apparently took the people who gathered around 11 minutes to actually call for an ambulance. And even though it was daytime, 20 potential witnesses, nobody got a look at the killer. Nobody saw anything. So right from the start, investigators had almost nothing. Matt was well liked. No known enemies, no secret life, no affairs. It just seemed completely senseless. With no eyewitnesses, they turned to the parking lot security cameras, call them those credible witnesses. This footage, by the way, has never been released publicly, but reports say it showed this. About 20 minutes before Matt got there, a 2-door Ford Explorer, sports model, enters the lot. It follows a white Ford Probe for a bit, then leaves. Then at 8:11 a.m., 1 minute before Matt arrives, the Explorer is back. Footage too grainy for faces or plates, though. 8:12 a.m., Matt's rental Corsica pulls in. The Explorer, described as lying in wait, starts tailing him. Matt parks. And just his luck, it's in a blind spot, just outside the camera's view.
A blind spot. That feels intentional.
Right. And then, maybe 20 seconds after Matt was shot, that same Ford Explorer is seen leaving the parking lot. That vehicle, that driver, never found, never identified. We know a few things about the Explorer from the footage. It wasn't black, white, dark blue, or dark green. Made between 91 and 94, had a distinct black trim on the lower panel.
Parking in a known blind spot, that suggests familiarity, doesn't it? Planning.
Yeah.
They knew the layout, knew where the cameras couldn't see.
Exactly. It screams premeditation. Like they'd scouted the place. This wasn't random, it was calculated. Investigators figured the driver was looking for someone specific that morning. They think maybe they initially mistook that white Ford Probe for the target vehicle, then realized their mistake, came back, and found Matt's white Corsica. So, what are the theories? There aren't many solid ones. Road rage. Unlikely since the Explorer was there 20 minutes early. Military connection. This one's kind of eerie. 11 months before Matt was killed, a sergeant who served under him, Nicholas Gage, went AWOL. Gage was found dead 10 months later, just 2 weeks before Matt's murder. His death was listed as unexplained. And weirdly, Matt's own military records vanished around that time.
That's unsettling. A dead subordinate, missing records, but still no concrete link to Matt's death.
No direct evidence, just uncomfortable timing and missing pieces. Another angle people looked at was the company, Applied Materials. A few months before Matt, another employee there, Hans Hokion, was stabbed to death. A nanny confessed to that one, but there was some speculation it might have been a hit, silencing an employee. But that seems like a stretch for Matt. He was brand new, just in training. Unlikely he'd stumbled onto any big corporate secrets in 9 days. So, the lead detective's theory, the one that seems most plausible even now, mistaken identity. The killer was after someone else, someone who drove a white Chevy Corsica. And Matt just happened to be driving that exact model as a rental car that day.
Could the killer have been after a previous renter of that specific car?
That's the idea. Maybe someone involved in something dangerous had rented that car before Matt, and the killer was tracking the car, not the person. Matt was just tragically unlucky. Almost 30 years later, we still don't know who killed Matt Flores. There's a $100,000 reward out there. His wife, Denise, said it best. Whoever did this, I want them to know what they've taken. 1 minute life was great, the next minute it was shattered. She'll never know what it feels like for her daddy to hug her. I lost everything that day. Just gone. Maybe because he drove the wrong rental car. So, 2 incredibly dark stories today, and really different paths to tragedy. One, this calculated, jealous rage. We have video, digital trails, and international chase. It feels almost tangible, even in its horror. And the other, just cold, clinical, almost random seeming. An execution out of nowhere that leaves nothing but grief and questions even decades later.
It's deeply unsettling, isn't it? How thin that line can be between just a normal day, making plans, going to work, and then suddenly this life-shattering violence. Whether it's driven by intense personal emotion, like in Mo Wilson's case, or potentially just horrific bad luck, like it might have been for Matt Flores. That suddenness is terrifying.
Yeah. These cases, they really show you sometimes darkness finds you through no fault of your own, just crossing paths with something terrible. It's a reminder, I guess. Stay safe out there. Keep your wits about you.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into these very unsettling cases. If these stories intrigued you or scared you or just made you think, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel, Horror Docx. We dive into more chilling narratives, more explorations of the